mysterious individual with whom Ganimard, our shrewdest detective, had been engaged in an implacable conflict amidst interesting and picturesque surroundings. Arsène Lupin, the eccentric gentleman who operates only in the chateaux and salons, and who, one night, entered the residence of Baron Schurmann, but emerged empty-handed, leaving, however, his card, on which he had scribbled these words: Arsène Lupin, Gentleman-Burglar, will return when the furniture is genuine. Arsène Lupin, the man of 1,000 disguises, in turn a chauffeur, detective, bookmaker, Russian physician, Spanish bullfighter, commercial traveller, robust youth, or decrepit old man. Then consider this startling situation. Arsène Lupin was wandering about within the limited bounds of a transatlantic steamer. In that very small corner of the world, in that dining saloon, in that smoking room, in that music room. Arsène Lupin was perhaps this gentleman, or that one, my neighbour at the table, the sharer of my stateroom. "And this condition of affairs will last for 5 days," exclaimed Miss Nelly Underdown next morning. "It is unbearable. I hope he will be arrested." Then, addressing me, she added, "And you, Monsieur d'Andrézy, you are on intimate terms with the captain. Surely you know something." I should have been delighted had I possessed any information that would interest Miss Nelly. She was one of those magnificent creatures who inevitably attract attention in every assembly. Wealth and beauty form an irresistible combination, and Nelly possessed both. Educated in Paris under the care of a French mother, she was now going to visit her father, the millionaire Underdown of Chicago. She was accompanied by one of her friends, Lady Jerland. At first, I had decided to open a flirtation with her, but in the rapidly growing intimacy of the voyage, I was soon impressed by her charming manner, and my feelings became too deep and reverential for a mere flirtation. Moreover, she accepted my attentions with a certain degree of favour. She condescended to laugh at my witticisms and display an interest in my stories. Yet I felt that I had a rival in the person of a young man with quiet and refined tastes, and it struck me, at times, that she preferred his taciturn humour to my Parisian frivolity. He formed one in the circle of admirers that surrounded Miss Nelly at the time she addressed to me the foregoing question. We were all comfortably seated in our deck chairs. The storm of the preceding evening had cleared the sky. The weather was now delightful. "I have no definite knowledge, mademoiselle," I replied, "but cannot we ourselves investigate the mystery quite as well as the detective Ganimard, the personal enemy of Arsène Lupin?" Oh, you are progressing very fast, monsieur." "Not at all, mademoiselle. In the first place, let me ask, do you find the problem a complicated one?" "Very complicated." "Have you forgotten the key we hold for the solution to the problem?" "What key?" "In the first place, Lupin calls himself Monsieur R." "Rather vague information," she replied. "Secondly, he is travelling alone." "Does that help you?" she asked. "Thirdly, he is blonde." "Well, then we only have to peruse the passenger list and proceed by process of elimination." I had that list in my pocket. I took it out and glanced through it. Then I remarked, "I find that there are only 13 men on the passenger list whose names begin with the letter R." "Only 13? "Yes, in the first cabin. And of those 13, I find that 9 of them are accompanied by women, children, or servants. That leaves only 4 who are travelling alone." "First, the Marquis de Raverdan—" "Secretary to the American ambassador," interrupted Miss Nelly. "I know him." "Major Rawson," I continued. "He is my uncle," someone said. "Monsieur Rivolta." "Here!" exclaimed an Italian whose face was concealed beneath a heavy black beard. Miss Nelly burst into laughter and exclaimed, "That gentleman can scarcely be called a blonde." "Very well, then," I said. "We are forced to the conclusion that the guilty party is the last one on the list." "What is his name?" "Monsieur Rosen."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.